things around. Enter Mr. Varun Kohli. For nearly 3 decades, he's been the go-to guy for launching, revamping and rescuing media brands. When a network needs a fresh start or a failing channel needs a second chance, he's the one they call. That's why they call him the turnaround man, because no news business is too tough to crack. But his playbook isn't just about breaking news. He's also made waves in sports broadcasting, bringing action-packed leagues like pro wrestling and big bout boxing to audiences across India. From television and print to digital media, he's seen it all, fixed it all, and built some of the biggest media brands along the way. Whether it's strategy, innovation, or just plain business sense, he's got it covered. So let's hear from the man who knows how to turn headlines into success stories, Mr. Varun Kohli.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Subodh, for a great welcome. I wish to clarify I have not paid him any money to talk so good about me. So that is one caveat that I wanted to put. When I was coming here, my team built a good presentation which we wanted to show, but I said I'm going to talk something different that media impacts everybody's life in some form or the other, right? So the first thing that came to my mind was the mission theme of striving and all. But one thing we missed out was surviving. Today businesses is all about surviving and the survival for the fittest. Today we are in an age where there's so much of competition in any industry that you are in, right? So the most important thing that I wanted to bring forward is that media, the business that we are in is a very tough business. It is not a glamour business which people used to think, especially with news anchors and all becoming celebrities. Today we are in an age where media is consumed in WhatsApp university chats, it's consumed across Facebook, consumed around Google, everything. So we have to be relevant in that market. And to be relevant, you have to talk sense. You have to bring right to the viewer what they are wanting. Otherwise, remote is the best form of them to switch off. Even newspapers faced a torrid time after COVID because the reading habits changed to a large extent. So I'll just try to put a context to what media does to you. So COVID, a lot of information came from media. If media was not there, a lot of problems would have happened. That is one. The biggest turnaround marketing event of the century right now is Mahakumbh, is all a media glare. It's brought Sanatan, Asmita, Hindutva together and built 50 crores people visiting them. And 50 crores means at least 6 countries in Europe. That's another point that media brings to the table. But often we are criticized enough, we are told a lot of things because people say either we are leaning right, we are leaning left, and thanks to a lot of frustrated people on the digital media, every day you have hear something or the other. But that doesn't deter us to a large extent. And I'll explain you how we run our businesses and how tough it is. So before Delhi election a year back, we had a story on Sheesh Mahal. And Sheesh Mahal was one of the biggest stories which then the BJP took up and all that. We were not anti an organization, but we thought that that's a story we are going to pursue and pursue very well, in spite of whatever pressures we go through. And rest is history in front of you. That became the biggest talking point in Delhi elections, and you all know what the results are. That doesn't mean that we are right of center. We talked about Mahakumbh Stampede. We were the channels which broke the stampede which had happened, and I didn't get a single pressure from anybody in the corridors of power that why are you running this story. So our job is to put forward views the way they are. Ultimately, it's up to you to like it or not like it. So what I'm trying to just elaborate with all little discussion that I want to put forward is that at the end of the day, media is all what you want to see. Media is movies too. If you want to see violent movies, you'll get violent movies. You want to see romantic movies, you'll get romantic movies. Today, it is all that we consume, how we behave is what defines businesses to a large extent, right? News channels, I can say for all authority with the number of news channels we have, One, I can say I come from a complete news background for the last 3 decades. But the way we put forward in Times Network that we come from, we touch 24, 25 crore viewers every day in and day out. And we pass and fail every day. Because if our stories don't give us the right traction, the numbers don't come in terms of ratings. And of course, it's a business that we are in. So my only humble point, again and again trying to put forward to you guys is that there's a lot of big things that we do which gets unnoticed because it's your job. But criticizing is one of the most easiest way in today's world. And that is what people have to understand, that our guys, I have around 1,300 reporters working day in and day out, trying to bring you news on every nook and corner. It's not an easy task. And I feel you should clap for all the guys who are bringing you news right up to your home. Secondly, I was going through listening to everybody and a lot of eminent speakers, a lot of takeaways that I'm taking. Everything starts from you. If you don't consider yourself a brand enough, nobody's going to value you. And if you don't value yourself, none of the guys will be able to ever value you. The biggest problem is we start seeing ourselves from other people's eyes. The day you start seeing yourself from your eyes, half your battle is won. We in our organization are not bothered about what competition shows. My guys are very clear and our punchline is now or never. Every day we have to innovate, come with new ideas. And the best part is the brilliant ideas come from young people like you who are 23, 24, who give us more ideas than any of us who are around 2 decades or 3 decades in the industry. So guys, we need people like you. That is what this industry is all about. Third, if you want to change the society, you have to change yourself. And if you have to change yourself, you have to change your thinking. If you have to change your thinking, you have to see how you want to move forward and chase your dreams. Nothing is impossible. I am a simple management graduate. I have led close to 8 companies and turned them around. And that is only because I believed in the passion that I want to build brands. So if you have passion, you have perseverance, you have a knack, and you know what it takes, trust me, none of you will be out of business ever. And all the business owners out here, we have around, collectively, I was joking with Subodh in the morning, that around 1,000 years of experience is there within this room itself. Look at the quality of knowledge IMA is providing you guys. It is bringing a wealth of knowledge, you interact with people, you understand the difficulties, the pressures, they're free of cost. At the end of the day, anybody sharing their experience becomes a great learning Bible for you. And I solidly feel that we are too obsessed with the Western world. So our MBA side was all about Philip Kotler. Earlier it was 4 Ps, now it's become 5 Ps, 6. By the time I die, it will be 10 Ps. But bottom line is survival. And the survival for the fittest. And India, the next 2 decades are of India. We work very closely with the governments. We are seeing new areas. When we were in 10th, anybody getting into humanities was outclassed. It was science and commerce. Today, the maximum sections in any of the universities and colleges of arts. That shows the changing needs and the changing dynamics that are there. So all I wanted to assure you is that there are plethora of opportunities. The government is working very much on building entrepreneurship, but government is not looking at Delhi, Bombay as a destination. They are looking at your towns from where the maximum entrepreneurs can come. And why can't we have the biggest success stories coming from Indores, the Lucknows, the Bhopals of the day? That is your time. And if now you don't grab it, then you can't comment on it. And that is what media brings to the table. We bring you opportunities. We bring you what's happening. What are the new trends? We have a business vertical. My 80 now is a business newspaper, which is complete business channel. We try to bring new things into town. And my average age in 80 now is 28 years. So who says that we don't need youngsters? But youngsters with young minds is more important for me because experienced guys are equally young in their mindset. So all I'm wanting to keep on elaborating you is whichever field you're choosing, whatever you're doing, first have that knack that why are you wanting to get there, how do you want to get there, and how do you want to grow your business. and then success will follow you. But if you will only aim yourself on somebody else's success story, then it is his success story, not yours. And that is what today, in today's world, we go through a lot of problems. Apart from that, one thing which we as media organizations today have said is that there is a lot of criticism that India goes through, especially from the Western media. Today we talk of our stories in a big way, and I'll give you a small example to elaborate it. A leading business house was being targeted in US for whatever reasons. I'll of course not going to name that, right? But we changed the story and we brought the story that it's an attack on New Bharat because the story didn't have anything. And rest is history. Indians resounded back, gave a fitting reply, and all those channels who were going with the phenomena are out of business. That is what we as consumers can do. Ultimately, everything is in your hands. You like something, you will consume it. You don't like something, you will be in a spot that way. One more glaring thing which I always keep on harping on and with meeting different business leaders is a lot of people have this complaint, economy is not working, nobody's buying biscuits, nobody's buying this. I was with the Taj MD the other day and he's a personal friend. They have grown by 40% and they are going to double their room rates in the next 2 years. And then you say there is no consumption. So it's all in our minds, it's all in that WhatsApp university that we see, or the stories which are planted to you through AI in different digital forms. So you need to refrain from that. You have to check that. And one example which comes to my mind immediately was MDH Mahashyaji, if all of you know. One day somebody put in an X that RIP Mahashyaji. And I remember very clearly, I was in a different organization, not Times, where I got at least 50 missed calls in the morning asking me, is it true? And then all news channels by the evening were running a scroll saying he's alive, he's happy, he's doing well. So this is the age we are in, where a lot of negative information, a lot of information which doesn't have power is coming to your households every day. And thanks to mobile phones. So you have to see which source to trust, which source not to trust. In our company where we come from, till we don't get a verified thing, none of it will go on television or on my digital sites. We are so very clear on that because it's about my credibility, it's about my ownership to my viewers and my answerability to my viewers. And if I'm not able to do that, we are not going to go anywhere. And by the way, media also gives you a lot of topics to smile on. A lot of topics to have, because when you bash media, you're smiling. So we are your smiling people. We give you a lot of reasons to smile too. Apart from that, the way we look at it in the next 2 decades, the way we are looking at how the markets are going to expand, let me tell you, irrespective of the stock market, it is going to touch all-time high in the next 2 years. You will see new renewable energy, you will see new solar, you will see EVs, they will rule the roost. There are so many sectors coming up that you can't even imagine. And before me, we talked about manufacturing, and you can well imagine the manufacturing is going to go up like anything. Only thing is, don't go by a set pattern that, oh, I want to do an engineering in, say, computers, because electronics will become the biggest power center in terms of employment opportunities in the next 5 years. So think through what we are doing, where we want to go, how we want to run our lives. That is the key for us. That is the area that you need to choose and first believe in yourselves. Apart from that, whatever you have been seeing, whatever you have been hearing across, do a counter check. Do a counter check whether what you are consuming is right or wrong. Because thanks to deep fakes, AIs and all, I was joking, one of my anchors was selling a tail and I was surprised and it was deep fake at the end of the day. So media is sum total of whatever you talk to whatever you consume, to whatever you see, to whatever you believe. It is not restricted to a television, it is not restricted to a newspaper, it is not restricted to a digital platform, it is not restricted to any damn thing, a radio or whatever. It is up to you, your responsibility to choose right vehicles whom you want to believe, which we call the trusted resources. Unfortunately, we don't do that. We are more into the forward mechanism thanks to WhatsApp, अब तो वो भी 5 forward से ऊपर करता नहीं है, क्योंकि they also know that Indians are in the habit of forwarding anything that comes anytime. Apart from the management side of business, which I represent, and I am on the back room of the media organization we are doing, media is into a fantastic, exciting stage. You will see media growing at a big pace. Majority media companies are owned by the Indian entrepreneurs. It has still not gone to a foreign entrepreneur, and that itself states that what is the kind of value that we bring to the table. So this time, and before I end my session, I just want to say, these 2 decades are of India. Your passports have a lot of value. Yesterday I was at the US Embassy. It took me precisely 15 minutes to get out of it. Gone are those days where Indians were not respected, the Indians were not given the due recognition that they want, and these 2 decades have to be done by youngsters and experienced people like us together and build India to a new future. Jai Hind. Thank you.
The session is open for questions.
Yeah,
I'll
thank you,
request,
Kohli ji. I'm having a few questions for you. One is that, as per your experience, what are the key factors a business organization should consider before selecting the media platform to amplify their brand presence effectively?
The most important thing is they should know what is their customer's customer. The customer that they are attacking to, who's the customer of that customer. Once you have that, your strategy comes. I'll give you a glaring example of, and I just missed out that point. Today, LinkedIn has become the biggest marketing tool. Because if ever I have to see a company, I see what are they doing on the LinkedIn profile. And if there's a very happening organization, the perception changes. Second, when you go to that company, see how the peons react to you. If they are coming with a smile, that means the company is doing great job. That is too many things and that is why if you see a Japanese company, pardon me by being straight, Japanese companies, you will see people laughing and smiling. You will not see it in the Korean companies. Go to any Korean company, you will not see people smiling. So that's the cultural difference that we bring to the table. So coming to your question, it is customer which is important. It is what do you want to derive. If it's only about sales, that should not be the case. First, build a brand. Because I'll give you an example of Patanjali. Before they launched, it was Baba Ramdev with its yoga all around. Then 1 year, they only advertised without talking about any product. And rest is history. They mounted it with India. They mounted it with the New Bharat. And they beat even the levers in one of the categories.
Okay, thank you. There's another question. In today's digital landscape, how can business proactively manage their reputation and mitigate potential media crisis before they escalate?
See, the onus is with us as well as the viewers. As I told you in my session when I was talking, none of the editorial guys will post anything because of the breaking news culture without verifying it. So yesterday CM, we had a day before, 1 hour before, broke the story that she's becoming, because we had a confirmed source story, So in digital world, there is a lot of clutter. The way we are looking at data, there are a lot of people who are coming back to television to check the news. So you have to be credible. And today, you will see a lot of these digital sites who are not credible or who are only chasing viewers are getting out of business. And I can name a lot, not in this forum, in private, I can tell you, who have lost business because they have not been credible. Credibility will become the biggest thing because there's so much of noise, so much of clutter, and so much of misinformation thanks to the deep fakes and the AIs that have come into our lives.
Okay, so how effectively the AI can be used in journalism?
So AI brings speed. AI will not replace humans at all. I have not had a single job loss in my entire industry that I've worked with, because of AI. AI will bring speed, AI will bring new innovations, AI will bring news in a different form, in a different facet. But AI anchors cannot replace human anchors. I tried doing it in my organization where I had an AI anchor, but the show didn't take off because we are a touch and feel economy. We are an emotional economy. We want people to be seen in front of us to be heard. We will not go by robots telling us what to be there and what not to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, but master AI with the right skill set, people coming together, of course we have to reskill ourselves, but AI is not going to take anybody's job. It will bring job more interesting facets which was not there earlier. It's like we all grew into 286 and 386, then we studied Unix and all, and by the time we went into a job, Microsoft finished everything.
Okay. So I think thank you so much. I mean, we have to go for our next session. So thank you.